Okay, welcome back. Hope everyone had a great holiday. It is New Year's Eve, about 1 o'clock. We still have to do our maintenance. We do have to be somewhere no later than 5, so this is going to be a quick one. Today we're going to go over getting some space in between our plants, making a few adjustments. We're going to pull a couple of plants and have a swap. I picked up Hygrophila sessiflora, sessiflora, or blue hygro. It's converting right now, so it's real dark. It's kind of that narrow leaf in between the Rotala and the Taiwan lily. Um, I do want to use it for the back left as long as it stays green because I have bought hygrophilas in the past that have gone more dark. Hopefully it stays nice and bright green. Picked up purple bamboo. We're going to take out the Mayaka and we're going to try this as a curtain. It doesn't get real dense or anything, but maybe it'll look cool. Maybe it won't. We'll give it a try. We're going to adjust the Blexia. We're going to take out the Cryptocoryne willisii. It's going to be too slow of a grower, and that's not going to work. If it's too slow, like Parva slow, Crypt Parva, I can't have it. I need something that grows a little faster. Originally, I thought I was going to take this out. Took a shot of the tank with a DSLR camera, and it looked really great in the photo. So I'm going to keep it. We're just going to have to clean it up and get it moved around to make it work in the scape. The AR is moved from here, and I put in Ludwigia Rubin. Unfortunately, this is done a lot. Probably, I go through the InBat article that's in the description all the time, and I think it just in my head. I was like, yeah, let's do that, and it's been done a million times. But for now, we'll keep it there. Maybe I'll have to put a lily, an Amphia in, or something like that to not be copying what someone else has done. But at the end of the day, if you just want a pretty scape, you're not going for a competition, does that really matter? And I would say no. We're going to pull some of the limno out. It's a little jammed up on that Ludwigia, and I'm going to pull the Ludwigia forward. This one is doing incredibly awesome, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a trim. We can get maybe 3 trims out of it before it has to be reset. And you can just see how when we used our scissors last time to trim it, it created that nice curve. Hopefully you can see that on camera. And it's just like it's like a dome going all the way to the back. That's why I just love this plant. It's absolutely favorite. It's so good, I might try to use it as a mid-ground, and as such, I have bought Lobelia cardinalis miniature form. I only have 3 pieces of it, so it would take a long time to get this replaced, but it will be in this tank just to keep propagating it in case I decide. But I'm kind of committed to using this limno as a street. I've never seen it before. I love it. Yellow brick road kind of thing going on, so that's cool. You can see some stems have shot up as they're starting to do well where others are lower. We're going to get all that evened out. We're trying to get a 2 to 1.5 finger gap in between the plants. The Hatina is growing into the giant hair grass. We're going to get all that pulled out, get it a little bit neater. My plan with the AR is to replace it with Natans. Maybe the AR stays in, it's doing well. I've moved it a couple of times now. It hasn't stunted. It looks great. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we won't. We're going to get the blue hygro into the corner all nice so it has space. We're going to get this cleaned up. The lucines, get that cleaned up and get it more columnized, if that's a word, as a curtain. And get rid of the Mayaka if I didn't mention that. Hellfury still not doing great in this tank. Don't know if we'll keep it or not. We'll see. We'll have to find a replacement. Maybe some Sidoides or something like that. I have another tank in another tank. But yeah, big moves today. Mayaka out. Reduce the street. Get it trimmed up nice. Get the Blexia spread into a position that I want. Maybe thin out some Portovelho. Get the Rotala pushed all the way back. It's a little too far forward, so it's cutting off some mid-ground space. And when I took a photo of the tank, I noticed that in the photo, it looks like it's too right of the rule of third. So I'm going to move it a little bit left because in competitions here in the US, right, we just take photos. No one's coming to your house. So if we can bend that optical illusion that you're seeing in camera, not on this camera, it's definitely a wide angle lens, but with the DSLR, it definitely looks too right. So we're going to push that to the left. yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, I'm going to be rushed today because we have that time frame. We got to get up to the fish store to get some of these plants sold. Um, yep. Yep, that's it. All right, guys, we'll see you after we do the water change and a gravel vac, and we'll scrape, even though we really don't have to scrape at all. The green dust is pretty much eliminated. I know it'll go further into elimination as plant mass comes up. Oh, I will say this tank is 95% algae free at this time. I see one little spot on that Hatina. We'll just trim that away. Nothing in the substrate, nothing is on pretty much any other plant, just on this Mayaka, because it was converting to this tank. I see one little spot, but since that's gone, when we put the limno in, it had algae on it, and that algae just boom, like 3 days, it was gone. So that's saying leaf is toast is not true. It can go away, and all these leaves look perfect, in my opinion. Giant hairgrass converting, starting to see some lighter green. All positive signs. The Rotala, the buds on the top are starting to actually look like rosebuds. It's all telling me everything's falling in line. And I might be even able to relax on my water changes a bit. Still do a big one, but do maybe like a half one midweek instead of 2 full big ones. Yep, that's it. All right, we'll see you after all this is done. I forgot to mention something you may notice is not in the tank, and that's going to be the moss wall that we started. During that downtime, my wife and I made 4 panels for the moss walls, and we actually installed all the moss in it and got them into position, and it looked good, but the problem was the netting holes were too small, and I had a couple of bloodfin tetras run into them and get stuck, and they died trying to get out because it cut their gills. And moss walls in general, they can kind of be a big pain in the butt, and with the death of the fish, the maintenance that's required, I think she and I have both decided that we do not want to do a moss wall. I want to caveat that by saying, if you're in a competition and you've got points similar to someone else who has a moss wall and you don't have a moss wall, you're probably gonna not win the competition or place a little bit lower down to those who do have moss walls. I think it works perfect. We had stakes on all sides. The panels were perfect. No warping in them, and that net works perfect. It's just these fish are just perfect size to get crammed in there. So maybe, but I think we're really committed. We don't want to do a moss wall. Is finding larger hold net that they can't get their gills stuck in, or getting a much smaller netting. That they can't even get into in the first place. But that is why you don't see the moss wall. Wassa, we pulled the Java fern. It's just too tall, and it just would look awkward in the tank. Yeah, so no moss wall going forward. We did save the panels. They're in a different tank. And if we can just run across something, we're like, yeah, that's going to be safe, we'll do it. If not, we're just going to let her be. All right. Yep. All right, so it's a couple days later. I wanted things to clear up before I showed you everything, but it was kind of a quick day. So we did extend some more of the hatina to the left, and we got a little bit tighter to the right, and just a little bit forward. It looks like I did miss one piece right about there. Maybe just floating, but I'll get that out in a day or two. Yeah, got it away from the giant hair grass. We did move the uh, Bacopa colorata just a little bit to the left, and didn't do a great job on that. Again, we kind of just got rushed for time. We did take out the Taiwan lily, and we're just going to let that hygrophila grow. You can also see here too, I know I didn't explain this at the beginning, but as we look at the tank, you will make decisions, pull things out, move things in. So we did take out the AR, and we moved the Reuben over, and we put in a little bear sword. So that's going to take the place of our rosette. So we can mark that off the box. Got the Mayaka out, and I put some Mirio stems. I farmed those pretty hard, so they're in rough shape. But I just set them into the tank because I'm actually thinking that the Rotala colorata is going to come out, and that'll take its place. And the only reason for that is I really like the color, and it's a little easier to maintain a nice group with, and you can make it all nice and even. With the Rotala over here, it can be maintained quite easily, but as it gets taller, it becomes a bit of a pain or a chore, I guess. I think maintaining that plant shorter is easier, so I'm thinking about just swapping those two, just for pure ease. If we keep using it, we'll have to maintain it a little more forward, so it's a little bit easier to take care of. Just kind of spacing the Blexy out. That's not necessarily its permanent spot. We thinned out the Portobello a little bit as well, and you can see we trimmed the street real tight. So yeah, overall everything's looking really good. Still got some moss particles we went through and tapped and tried to get most of it out, but it just kind of shows up. And we got the bamboo working as a potential curtain. We'll just let that grow and see what it does. So yeah, here's the tank as we stand. Another thing, getting the bright idea that this Hatina might get moved over to the right as the right background plant, and maybe move that Limno over. Because if we do use the Mirio over here, it's kind of similar leaf shape. But the colors are so different and the height will be different, so it shouldn't be an issue if we do decide to leave the Hatina. So yeah, actually that Hatina is looking quite sweet. Next couple of weeks I will give it its first shaping trim, but I'm just going to let it keep growing as of right now. Okay, well, hope you like it. I know it was kind of a shorter, not too much information, just, this is what it is for now. Hopefully I will be back in a week or two, and everything is going to be much more full and grown in, and we'll keep working it. All right, see you next time.